Hello, in this lecture I will talk about the story and the title of the great poem, The Night in the Panther's. So we start with the story. In a nutshell, the story of the great poem, The Night in the Panther's, is about the adventures of two knights, Tariel and Avtandil. Tariel is the protagonist of the poem. He is the man that wears the tiger skin, and Avtandil is the chief of staff of the Arab armies. So in the next step, I'll talk about the story of the great poem, The Night in the Panther's in detail. So here the story of the great poem, The Night in the Panther's can be divided into two parts. The first part is the search for Tariel, the protagonist of the poem, and the second part is the search for Tariel's beloved, the standard John. So we start with the first part, the search for Tariel. One day, Tandil, the chief of staff of the Arab armies, goes to an hunting competition with King Ostevan. King Ostevan is the king of Arabia. During the competition, they take a break and they rest under a tree. All of a sudden, they see a mysterious knight crying by a river. So King Ostevan, who is the king of Arabia, wanted very much to know who is that mysterious knight. So he sent slaves in order to contact the mysterious knight, but the mysterious knight reacts violently and kills all the slaves that sent by King Ostevan in order to contact him, and then disappears. Tandil, the chief of staff of the Arab armies, loves Tinatin, who is the only daughter of King Ostevan, king of Arabia, King Ostevan. Tinatin also loves Tandil. So Tinatin asks from her beloved Tandil to find the mysterious knight, and in return she promises to marry him. If he finds the mysterious knight in 3 years, then she will marry him. So Avtandil goes to search the mysterious knight all over the world, and after 2 years and 9 months, he finds the mysterious knight. The mysterious knight tells him that his name is Tariel and that he was the commander of India's fleet. He also loves the standard John. The standard John is the daughter of King Panther'S, who is the king of India. But the problem was that she was abducted, and after her abduction, he sank into deep depression. He was always crying and sobbing, and he was totally isolated from the society. He had only one maid that helped him. So he became crazy. He was insane because of the fact that his beloved was abducted. So Avtandil is very moved by the story of the mysterious knight Tariel, and therefore he became a friend of Tariel and also promised Tariel to help him to find his beloved, the standard John. That is the first part of the story, the search for Tariel. The second part of the story is the search of Tariel's beloved, the standard John. Avtandil searches the standard John. In the second part, Avtandil searches the standard John a lot of time. After a lot of investigations, searching, he finds out that the standard John, Tariel's beloved, was abducted by the Kajis. The Kajis are the demons. So therefore, Tariel, Avtandil, at pre-dawn, with the ruler of the city Mulgazanzar, go together to the country of the Kajis in order to rescue the standard John from her captivity. But the problem is that the country of the Kajis is a fortress, and it's actually impossible to infiltrate to that fortress. In addition, the second problem is that the Khajiits are very strong warriors, therefore the mission of rescuing Islam Darajan from captivity by the Khajiits is impossible mission. But against all the odds, the 300 soldiers, together with Tariel of Tandir and Predon, succeeded to do the unthinkable, and they succeeded to rescue the Darajan from captivity by the Khajiits. And the story has an happy ending in the sense that Tandir marries Tinatin and Tariel marries his beloved and the son Darajan. So that is the story of the great poem, The Knight in the Panther's Skin. In the next step, I'll talk about the title of the great poem. The title is The Knight in the Panther's Skin, but it is not clear if it is a panther or a tiger, so we'll assume that it is a tiger. So the title of the great poem is The Knight in the Tiger's Skin. The knight is the protagonist of the poem Tariel that wears the tiger's skin. Actually, there is a particular chapter in the poem that talks about Tariel that killed a lion and the tiger, and the story of that particular chapter is as follows. One day, Tariel sees a lion that was chasing after a tiger. So Tariel was very angry on the lion because he thought that the lion was going to kill the tiger. And therefore, Tariel kills the lion in order to save the panther from the end of the lion. But the tiger, and then actually goes to the tiger in order to hang it, because he risked his life in order to save the tiger. But the tiger was very angry on Tariel because of the fact that they were not fighting, the lion and the tiger were not fighting, but they were just playing a game. So therefore the tiger starts to eat Tariel with its paws, very strong blows, and Tariel could bear no more the blows of the tiger, and therefore he eats back, and the tiger, in one blow, he kills the tiger. And it's a very tragic story because of the fact that Tariel risks his life in order to save the tiger from the lion, but at the end of the story, he was the one that killed the tiger. And so Tariel is very angry with himself that he killed the tiger that he loved so much. And therefore, he wears the tiger's skin as a coat. The tiger's skin is used by Tariel as a coat for 24 hours. As a reminder to him that he killed the tiger that he loved so much. A second reason that Tariel wears the coat and the skin of the tiger is because of the fact that the skin of the tiger reminds him of his beloved, the son Darajan, that was abducted twice. Why the skin of the panther reminds, why the skin of the tiger reminds Tariel, the son Darajan? Because of the fact that the face of the tiger was very similar to the face of his beloved, the son Darajan. So there are two reasons that Tariel wears the tiger's skin. The first reason is it reminds him that he killed the tiger that he loved so much. The second reason that it reminds him, his beloved, the son Darajan, that was abducted twice. And another question is, why is the figure of the tiger so important thing in the poem, so important figure in the poem? First of all, how do we know that the tiger's figure is a very important figure in the poem? Because of the fact that the title of the poem is The Knight with the tiger skin. If the title of the poem is the knight in the tiger skin, it means that the tiger is a very important figure. And the reason that the tiger's figure is a very important figure in the poem is because of the fact that the tiger's face is very similar to the standard John's face. Tigers beloved. Okay, thank you very much.